Hi boys and girls. If you want to try and light a bulb yourself, just like you saw in the video on the previous slide, you will need these materials from your science kit. The light bulb, the D-cell battery, and your 2 wires. Yours might be different colors than mine. However, one thing I'm hoping is the case with your wires, as you can see here, is that they are stripped at the end to have taken off that plastic insulator, and you can see the copper coming through. This is important that it's like that on each end, and you'll notice it's the same on my red one as well, okay? These ends not only need to be exposed, have that copper exposed to light the bulb, but it also is nice because it's flexible. Normally when we're doing this experiment in class, you would have a partner and each of you would be in charge of holding different parts in order to get the light bulb to light. But I wanted to show you a way that maybe you could make it light with just yourself, like one person. So there's a few tricks, and using the flexible end of the wires is the way to accomplish that. However, if you're lucky enough to have somebody nearby, or if you want to do this experiment later when someone is home or available to help you, you can certainly do that too. The first thing I'd like to have you do is let's try wrapping the cord around the light bulb. So I'm just going to take one of my wires, and I want to bring to your attention those rivets right on the metal bottom part of the light bulb. As we remember from the video that we just watched on the previous slide, it was important to have one of the wires on the side, right? Because there's that filament that goes up through the center of the light bulb. And so knowing we want to have one of our wires on the side, but also knowing that if it's just us holding on to all 4 parts, we're gonna need this to be held by itself. Notice what I've done here. Oh, I'm sorry, it was off camera a little bit there. What I've done here is I've wrapped this cord around the light bulb about 3 times. You know, it's flexible enough, and it's because now I'm not touching the light bulb by itself, it's holding it on its own. This is one way that you can do this experiment by yourself, if you get the wire to wrap around these rivets. And this is a time when maybe you want to pause the video and try this step before moving on to the others. All right, the next step I would encourage you to do is with the same wire, okay? And we're going to take the other end and the positive side of the battery. So notice how this has this top little lip of the positive side of our, see even the positive symbol right there, of our battery. So again, a way to keep everything hands-free and really connect everything. An idea I had was, what if we hook this part of the wire in such a way that it goes around this circle part? So I've taken the wire, I held it down with one of my fingers, and then I sort of just curved it, right? And I only got halfway around. So now I'm going to put the battery aside, and I'm going to hold on to it with my thumb. I'm going to try, my finger's a little wider, but I'm going to try and make it so that I make sure I'm staying in screen for you, that I make a circle with my wire. I'm going to bring back my battery and just test, is the circle I made, does it fit on that circle? Well, mine's not perfect, so here's what I'm going to do. It's very flexible. I'm going to hold one side of it, and I'm just going to kind of shimmy it around the positive top part of it. The place where it's the copper part of the wire is exposed, not the plastic, is much more flexible. So that's what I'm going to hold on to, and that's what I'm going to use. My idea and thinking is if we have this in a circle, then we put this side face down on the table, it can stay because remember it has that lip. I'm tugging on the white wire to show you that it's not moving. So it is connected in that way. So again, this is where if we were in class, you would have a partner ideally hold this part up. Right now, what we're lucky to have is that the light bulb is being held up on its own. So what are the last 2 steps we need to do? The last 2 steps would be to have the second wire be on the negative side of the battery. My finger's already holding there, so I might as well just use that finger to hold that wire there. The last piece is that I have to say to myself, wait, where would the other end of this wire go on the light bulb to make the light bulb light. So again, if you're at the point where you're saying to yourself, this is just too complicated, none of my wires are bending the way I want them to, you have two options. You can always try to find someone at your house to help you hold these parts with you, following along with this video. Or, to be honest, you don't have to complete this part of the activity. You've seen it work on the other FOSS video. This is only an optional activity if you wanted to try and experiment yourself. So I'm going to now hold down that red wire at the top of the negative battery. And I'm remembering from the video we watched that it had said we had to have a wire at the bottom and the side. So since I already have a wire on the side of the light bulb, I know that I'm going to need to put this wire on the bottom. As I connect these two, let's watch to see, bring it into, and of course that popped off. That might happen with you. I'm just putting it right back on there. I'm going to place it at the bottom of the light bulb, and let's watch to see if the light bulb lights. It does. What if I were to put this other wire on the side? Both of them being on the side. I'm going to slide it up there. It doesn't light. So that again reminds us that we have to have the wire on the side and the bottom, along with being connected to the positive and the negative side of the D battery. And again, this is just one way you can do this with one person to make this experiment work. No pressure to do so, just an option. There's all of your parts. We have it taken again, and just reminding you how we kind of curled that one around things to make it work. Hope it works for you. Again, no worries if it didn't, but it can be kind of fun to experiment with the different ways you see the light bulb turn on and not.